Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you.
Buenos dias.
The chat is alive. Good morning, Pat. How are you today? Please tell me if my voice disappears. I never got to play with these yesterday because our power went out. If you stopped by the office, we weren't there. We apologize.
Yeah.
It was a strange day because it was the busiest day of the fair.
Oh, gosh.
Everybody showed up.
The plaza was packed. So any of you that went, we gave up. We had no power in our office.
And there was a band right in front of our doors.
I don't
right there.
call it a band.
It was Banda.
Actually, they weren't horrible.
They weren't. They actually
played a tune.
But they were jerks.
Well, they weren't jerks. They thought they did not know that we were open, even when the doors were open or the curtain was up, because those windows are kind of tinted. There was a couple of guys that came and fixed their hair before they went back and danced, and we're all sitting there giggling because we could see them.
That was kind of funny.
And they couldn't see us.
I couldn't even think in there, and eventually we're just like, no, we can't do this.
Yeah, it just got to the point where...
Well, Christie was hot, and once she gets hot, there's no turning back.
Hot, baby. Yeah, it was hot. It was, no airflow, and you couldn't leave the door open because it was so stinking loud, and it just kind of echoed in there. Good morning, B. How are you this morning?
Hello.
So we left. And so we did not see the fireworks. We did not stick around and visit with people. I even bought cookies from a cookie man.
She did, and you bought beer.
And I bought beer and some wine.
So, if you're in the neighborhood, stop by. We have some.
Well, we're not going to be there today.
Not today.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to hang out with the ladies and
our big ladies.
Our big
Kenzie
ladies.
And good morning.
Not that they're big. I'm just
Cheryl,
saying they're the larger ladies.
Our adult
bigger adults.
ladies.
There you go. Adult ladies.
Kenzie and Amanda. Yeah. So we're going to hang with them today. Do some shopping. Do some looking. Do some wandering.
So I think we're going to go into Vallarta, right?
That's the plan.
There we go. And you got sweat on your brow. And it's cold this morning.
That's my lip.
Sweat on your lip. But it looks
this
like your brow.
This is my brow.
Yeah, but it's hairier as your brow. Oh. She's always hurting me. So today and then anything else going on? Like yesterday we had the offers. We submitted them. One never came the way we expected it. So it still might. The other two, we have two offers presented. Both of them just...
Hi, Lisa.
Hello. Just a little tiny bit under the sales price. So I think it's going to happen, or we'll make it happen somehow. Also, it's so dry here. I got a cracked lip. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
And she could see it. Like last night, she was putting on lip gloss, and I said,
"Chapstick, not lip gloss."
Lip gloss. I'm just.
Well, you have that stuff you bought.
I just want to make my lips shiny.
Why didn't you put some on?
I forgot.
Well, then don't complain.
But I can always feel it. It's just one of those things.
You maybe want to turn this fan on.
New to your page, are you guys Canadians? Yes,
ma'am.
We were Canadians.
We are Canadians. We carry Canadian passports.
According to our passports, we're Canadians, but I'm like the least Canadian person that you're ever going to meet. It took me about a year to de-Canadianize, and then I never had to go back. I really don't.
But yet we have.
Yeah, it's just the family, right?
We still have family. We still have family up there.
I have no idea why.
I'm from Alberta originally. John's from Ontario originally. Yeah, there we go. He's from Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes. My plan too. Good for you. Lisa, it's the smartest thing you can do. Just get the hell out. I mean, once they took over everybody's bank accounts, I knew their time was very close. And, there's a bunch of Canadians that are like, well, those people deserved it. Then those guys are idiots. They truly, truly are. Because if the government has control of your money, they have control of everything. That's terrifying. But yeah, that's the type of leader you got. Castro's son. I mean, Trudeau's son. Yeah, we were with some folks the other day, some Americans, and they're like, yeah, that's Castro's boy. They're like, what? I've never heard that before. What? That's crazy. So, yeah, I never have to go back.
It is warm this morning. It is
cold this morning. She is crazy. Upstairs, I was just up there. It felt like a cool Alberta summer morning with the breeze and the dryness. And Christie's now sweating. Come on. That's got to be something... about
maybe it's a hot flash. Who
it,
knows?
it might actually be a hot flash.
I've been having the odd one.
Yeah, and it's funny you haven't had any previously in Mexico, but I guess you weren't of a certain age previously. We've been here almost 20 years.
Well, Lisa, if you're here and in Bucerias, let us know. We'd love to meet with you and answer any questions you might have. B, yes, tea tree oil will help that heal, but it tastes terrible.
Yeah. So actually, that's a very interesting point. We were chatting yesterday about this because now I've seen a couple houses that were sold recently, and had they bought with us, they would have sold commission free, but they didn't. And they're buying and they're selling so fast, like 2 or 3 houses at the most, 2 or 3. But still, it's something I've never seen previously.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, no, that's not true.
Hey, Tiff.
The Terralta guy, remember the Terralta guy who built that poker thing upstairs? They built that to be their forever house. Then their life changed, and boom, they went somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually took quite a hit on that property, which now it would be worth so much more.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. So we're going to do a video about the good, the bad, and the ugly about Mexico. Because there are things that are very frustrating. I went to this house yesterday that we had for sale for 2 years. Kept telling the lady, we need to lower the price. We need to lower the price. She didn't. After 2 years, she decides to cancel, takes a new agent, lowers the price to the number that we said. It sold.
At the price we suggested.
So now that person is selling again. So they went for 1.5 years under construction, exactly like we did, in the house, and learned that everything is not the same as it is up there. First thing, the language is a problem because a lot of these guys, if they're in construction, generally, they never learned English.
No, you might get a foreman that speaks decent English sometimes.
Sometimes, maybe.
So good morning, Julie and Helen.
Hello, hello. Now, Julie, very smart. They have an arrangement with the builder where you get a bonus if it's finished on time and on budget. That is brilliant. And it's something that here, I think money doesn't motivate people the same way it does.
For some, though.
For some, it does. So if you're lucky enough to find somebody motivated by money.
Well, if you're finding a good person, they're going to be motivated by money because they've taken the time to hone their craft so they can be good at what they're doing. So
I think the number one thing people who move here permanently need to realize is that it's not like up there. And I think up there has changed a lot also since socialism and communism have creeped in, because kids nowadays are lazy, don't want to work, and they're just so offended by everything. When I was a kid, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Now, words are like knives and machine guns, and they kill people. They don't really.
Oh, good heavens.
But these kids think they do.
Morning, Jen.
But that is a problem. But here,
Morning,
money does not motivate people the same way. So when you go into a store, do not expect great service, because they're kind of like, you're going to give us your money anyways. You will wait in line to pay us, and good for you. So yeah, that is a problem here that people have. I haven't been in a bank standing in line in 10 years, 12 years.
So Lisa's asking if it would be okay to come down and do only an Airbnb first night and then bounce around to see the areas. I'd hate to get a hard bed, to say the least. P.S. You guys are my kind of people. Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We are very rare down here. That is another thing that people don't realize.
Yeah.
There is a lot of crazy here. And it's not, I appreciate the crazy because we're nomads. So when we moved down here, this was our forever home until it's not. But it's been over 19
Such
years.
Violence this morning.
Yeah. Thanks, Willie.
So,
I appreciate that.
In answer to your question, I would do a few days at an Airbnb only because it depends on what time of year you're coming down, because we're busy right now. This is our high season. Things are full. It might be more difficult to be able to bounce around unless you're willing to stay in places that might be a little more casual, let's say. And, we've traveled like that.
Hard beds are a problem.
Hard beds are common and the norm. End of March. So end of March.
You'll start to it depends. If you
when's Easter?
I don't know. You want to look on the Bucerias rental sites. There's like last minute rentals or something where people have canceled and then they have these spaces. And we're finding really good deals there. It's just that you don't know if somebody else is going to take it in advance.
Yeah.
Also, back to the things that are complicated here in Mexico. When the workers come in, if it's the beginning of the summertime, they will slow right down because that is their summer job. It rains. It's a terrible time to get work. So they just drag their butts.
Right. So, Lisa, I don't know how long you plan on staying. I just want to give you the heads up that April 9th is Easter Sunday. So the week before Easter and the week after Easter are very, very busy times here.
I was like the Vanna White there because you said before and then I did after.
I saw that and I was trying to ignore it and block it.
I was the Vanna White. It's an E.
So anyways, that's just to give you the heads up because it is a major vacation time here in the area.
So you've got Easter, Semana Santa, Semana Pascua. You've got the week of Christmas and New Year's in September 15th. That is their Independence Day. And, I see this one's kind of frozen.
Oops.
Huh.
Have we frozen your world?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so those are the 5 main weeks. Now, I used to say, there was the downtime, but this last year, it was the weirdest thing because there was so many foreigners here, so many, and they're here permanently now or examining their options. Thank you, Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Biden.
So back to a couple of things. Esther, good morning.
Hello.
Julie is saying it's 3 brothers. So Julie, that's doing the work. 3 brothers, an architect, an accountant, and an engineer. They're in their 30s, very hardworking.
Very smart.
She says, and the bonus and the site lunches every once in a while are working very well.
Ooh, that's very smart. Very smart. Now, their builders in Canada have learned a few tricks.
Yeah.
Good tricks. So, yeah, I love that. I really do. So, what else is going on?
My flash is over. Thanks.
There you go. What was I going to say?
Just
no about idea. Things that are stupid in Mexico.
It doesn't matter.
Well, no. We need to do a video. We need to do a video because I don't want people coming here and thinking their world, it's all rosy. It is not rosy.
But they're stupid everywhere. I mean, the same issues that are here are up there. They're just in a different language.
But no, their sidewalks are flush through the entire neighborhood. The roads, flusher. No, I mean, there are problems. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But it's not like here. And the thing is I always tell people, I love living in Mexico. I hate doing business here. Hate it. Because
hate is a very strong word for people that run a corporation.
Well, heard there was a shortage of staff.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Everywhere you go, they're hiring. In the U.S. and Canada right now, we're going to lose our job. In Mexico, oh my gosh. And I think it's going to be this way for another 2 or 3 years as Americans and Canadians abandon their country. This is going to be a thing. So, yeah.
So I want to reset your Facebook to see if it's just frozen on your tablet or.
So you have to go up, you go like this,
okay.
Then you go like this.
Okay, thank you.
iPad reset.
Wow, that page is reset.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's Norman. Norman is the first guy who shows up. Norman owns Nino's Cafe as well as Enwalk. It's fascinating.
It looks like your page is frozen. So if anybody was on John's page,
well, if they're on my page and they see it frozen, I'm sorry. Yeah, and it says there's 5 people watching it, so that's odd. Now, let me take a look. Excuse me a moment.
Well,
Christy's going to talk. Yeah, no.
Oh, I was going to look on my tab or on my phone and see if your page was.
Is anybody on my page? But yes, there is a shortage of staff. Understand, even the housekeepers now getting 100 pesos an hour for a good housekeeper. Now, we did have one that robbed us blind, Christy's favorite. But
so it is just your tablet because it's working fine on my phone.
Yeah, there you go.
That's weird.
My tablet's broken. If you're on my feed and you're asking questions or saying something, I'm sorry, we're not. Well, I don't know. Maybe we will see it.
Who knows? But anyways.
So the grandkids were over yesterday. Zach and Chuita were over. And obviously Kenzie and Amanda were over. Everybody was in the pool. It was very nice.
So this is, hi Lucy. This is another thing from Julie that is so true. And we forget this, but it's true. I find that in Mexico, they don't like to say no or offer an opinion, but I find their opinions practical and what works for them in Mexico, which is so true. That's why we're like, no, I really want to know what you think about this idea or whatever. She says, but because I need to know, or so I'm learning to ask in a way that I get the right answer and value when they say no, because I need to know if it can't work in Mexico when doing renos. Absolutely.
So we were selling a house, and it reeked of cat pee.
And good morning, Jeff.
Hello. It reeked of cat pee. I mean, it was strong.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. The person that was in the house did not smell the cat pee because they had a smell problem. And then another agent who happened to be Mexican comes. And I said, what do you think of the house? Oh, it's beautiful. It's fantastic. It's perfect. And he's like, see, I told you. So I asked her a question. How does it smell? It's terrible. And then all of a sudden everything came out. But that's the thing, right? They want to make you happy.
And they don't want to offend anybody.
They don't want to offend. And not only that, when you're asking,
and that offends me.
When you're asking directions, and if they don't know where it is, they will still give you directions.
Sometimes.
No, they will. And they'll say, oh yeah, it's past here. Then they'll use stuff that's been destroyed for 30 years. Oh, it's like by the old ice factory.
Yeah.
Well, I'm new here. Where was that?
That's right.
Help me. So then, you have things like that. We have been in other small Mexican towns where they'll send you places and you're at an empty field. It's not the place that you were going, but they did not disappoint. We had, for 3-4 years, we're asking when Telecable was coming to our neighborhood. This is when we lived by the water. And all the time, it was 3 months. 3 months, 3 months. Everywhere I go, 3 months. They kept answering me 3 months. About 3 years on, I'm over at the Telecable in Mescales, and I said to the young lady there, hey, can you tell me when it's coming to my neighborhood? She looks and she says, I have no idea. It's not on the blueprints. It's not on the future. And I'm like, who are you? I love you. Thank you for telling me the truth. And that is a problem here. You won't. And for them, it's not lying. They just don't want to upset you. It's a cultural thing. There are a red book and a green book in Mexico. You can get it off Amazon, and it's like how and why Mexicans act the way they do. It's very broad, but generally it's great advice. Why they do what they do, that kind of stuff. And I mean, the truth is, for 400 years, they were robbed by the Catholic Church. The last 100 and some years, they've been robbed by politicians. So they kind of hang on to what they can because otherwise it's gone. So it's very, very sad. But at the same time, the world is changing. I wish it was for the better. I really do. But it's still better here than it is up there. Yep. Because government is so small here. Up there, government's so big. And government just justifies its existence by creating problems that only they can solve.
Mm-hmm. Julie also just said that she didn't want to bring North American style down. She wanted to showcase Mexican style.
Yeah.
So, you do have to ask. And that's where a good foreman is invaluable when you're doing a major reno. Even a little one, but especially a major one.
A lot of the workers here, because there's so much construction going on, are doing 5-10 jobs and they don't tell you.
And of course, because she's a builder, she says, and I learned little things like why certain materials just won't work down here, but had to ask in a way to learn some of my North American materials were just plain, to learn that some of her North American materials were just plain stupid here, and they would have let her put them in. So,
yeah.
It's just one of those things where you just need to keep digging and asking. And
now I'm going to tell you something that most people may or may not know. Mexperience.com. Mexperience, so experience with an M in the front.com. They've got books that they sell on construction, on living here, on pretty much everything. But the construction one was invaluable. I wish I had read that 15 years ago, because it would have come in handy. We probably would be builders already had I read this. And it just talks about how you pay people. You do pay daily here for a lot of these people. It's just because that's how they live, hand to mouth. and they need to be fed every day, so they get the food.
No, just go behind. Kenzie's wondering how to get behind us.
Just run.
Come on, Kenz. Let's do it. My
Just
beautiful
run.
daughter is here.
She's going to run right by us. Just go.
Say hi.
Hello.
Brat.
Yeah, apparently she wants coffee or juice or something. Or ice, like her mom.
Yeah. Who
And
wants warm juice?
Never get an No, that's a Samsung.
Samsung.
Never get a Samsung refrigerator.
Their ice makers keep freezing.
Yeah, and it's a known thing.
And then you have to thaw it out. I mean, there is a little hack that you can thaw it out.
But it's hours.
But
and
it's
hours.
noisy and it's hours because it beeps, beeps, beeps the whole time.
Never buy a Samsung refrigerator ever.
Well, at least the older ones.
This is not older. I mean, it's 4 years old, 5 years old. Max.
Mexico though, it's probably 10 years old because we just get the old stuff.
That is another thing that people need to learn here in Mexico. That any of the stuff north of the border that's still existing inventory or it's crap, they send it to Mexico.
Not
Give it a second
necessarily,
chance.
but some, yeah. And some is made here. So we'll have a Samsung that's made here in Mexico. It's only made in Mexico. This model is only made in Mexico. There will be similar ones in Canada and the United States, but they're only made in Mexico. What do you need, Kenzie? A plate? Dishwasher's full.
Another thing is the electricity. We should be writing all this down. Actually, let's just watch this because as I'm thinking of stuff, the electricity is a problem. We have a client of ours that is selling a penthouse, and in this penthouse, they've got a gorgeous KitchenAid. It's almost commercial oven. It's larger than another one, stainless steel, iron on the top, but gorgeous. And to replace it now is about $8,000 US. Well, the board on this, it can't operate without a computer board. It's an $8,000 stove that will not operate without a computer board. So they told them from T.O. Sam's, all these other places, we can't get the board, cannot get the board. Now, I didn't trust that because I said there is no way that somebody's doing these luxury brands and there's no way to fix it. So I got Shirley involved. Shirley is a genius and she figured out very quickly what to do. So she went a different way, found out there was a board. It's still 40,000 pesos.
But they can fix it for cheaper than they would have to replace it.
But it's $2,000 for a little board that just goes in the stove. That's dumb. It is dumb. But then they won't have to buy a new stove. So that's good.
Yeah. So Jeff said that the Samsung ice machine does the same thing in Canada. And Julie said that appliances have been an eye-opener. I get European brands cheaper here than up north.
The Miele and all that stuff. It is all cheaper here. And people are blown away. Sub-Zero, the Wolf, all of that stuff is very inexpensive here. Yeah. Well, compared to North America. I mean, substantially less. Yeah. And it's funny because up there, they're kind of like, well, you can afford it. You can pay for it. Like that drives me bonkers.
Because you can put it on credit.
Yeah, and the Mexicans won't do credit.
Well, that's not true.
Well,
they're doing a ton of credit now.
They did not do credit. Right. Now that it's available. And guys, it is exorbitant. We're talking 40% to 60% per year for just little things.
I keep getting offered from the banks that we use, credit card, or not credit card, well, loans, little mini loans. One of them was 13,000 pesos, which isn't even $1,000 Canadian, never mind American. And it was 89% interest. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Mortgages here. Obviously, things have gone up in the U.S. Inflation, Canada inflation. But here in Mexico, it's always been 9 to 16% to get a mortgage. You know, well, that's with a 10-year to 15-year amortization. And not only that, it's 30 to 50% down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and Julie corrected herself. She said, I actually mean that I get cheaper European high-end versus North American mid-brands. Smeg fridge is cheaper than Frigidaire. Yeah. Fridges, and you know, we find that those appliances are pretty hefty down here. Pretty expensive.
And they're heavy, too.
Yeah, that too.
Gas bill was horrible. Yeah, gas has gone up here, too. I think we're paying over 20 pesos a liter for...
Yeah, it's 21 something a liter at most places.
Yeah, and
higher in some.
And what, like, also propane? Because we don't have natural gas underground.
Right, we
It's
use liquid propane.
So when that goes out, you got to call. These are all things that we need to be chatting about.
Well, now we can listen to our
the good, the bad, and the ugly
chat and write these notes down.
Yeah, the good is flowers are very inexpensive.
Oh, I got some beautiful ones.
Yeah, show them some of those.
Here, let me just take this off, Ken.
No, it would have been easier just to. Yeah, plus
pretty?
at our office, we've got.
Sorry, I'm getting you all over. And then there was this little guy that broke, so we just put it in a thing.
I don't know why you would do that and make them dizzy, as opposed
Close
to
your eyes.
Close your eyes. Yeah,
you can fix it now. I can't.
Yeah, Christy breaks it, and she's like, "You fix it, okay?"
And you guys use a different gas on your stove, liquid versus
it's propane. LP.
It is liquid propane. Yeah. Yippers.
And they have tanks here. So you have
stationary
tanks.
Yeah. Or they actually do have
bigger tanks.
They also have cylinders too.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the cross between. So with the cylinders, it's like the water jugs.
So they have a cylinder for a barbecue, like a normal cylinder, and then they've got one that's about 5 feet tall. And then you fill that up, and then so that would be, instead of spending the money to buy a stationary tank, you buy the cylinder, and it's like 1,000 pesos or 1,500 pesos, and then you're constantly refilling it. So that's how those work.
Water is another issue because you can't drink out of the tap here, or you shouldn't.
Right.
When it leaves the factory, the water factory.
The factory.
It is good to drink, but after it goes through the pipes, there's dirt and sand and garbage that has been in there for so many years.
And some of them are old, so that's bad. And
well, look what's happening in downtown Bucerias. Last year, 3 times they dug the street up to fix the water. It's broken again.
Yeah, another leak. Glad I don't live on that street. But that just means that they're going to have to tear that street up again, and it's going to be another nightmare.
Make it worse.
Hopefully they're going to pave that one. I bet you they will.
That would be fantastic, because then they could just dig up the street and then just fix that pipe one
really
time.
Really repair the pipe.
And do it right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in Mexico, an improvement just means it's going to get worse. So
not always. And Miguel is the best, Jeff. You are right. He's the guy that I get my flowers from, and I haven't bought them for the house in a long time, and he was kind of guilting me. Really? You haven't bought flowers for your home in a long time.
Well, he gives you a good price, because every week we buy a bouquet for the office.
A big arrangement.
Yeah. That his wife is really good at.
Oh, she's so talented. Right now, the one that we have in the office now is gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling.
So the pluses, I've ragged on Mexico enough, and MexicoRant.com is available.
Get it.
But on the plus side,
quiet.
On the plus side, you can have a still. I love that.
Oh, good Lord. Flowers are beautiful. The weather is gorgeous. Fruit is fresh.
Yeah,
tortillas. Kenzie loves tortillas.
There isn't one, but 2 donut people that come by my house every evening to sell donuts.
And a tamale lady and fresh shrimp. People come by our door. Peanuts. And I mean,
the knife sharpener.
The knife sharpener.
We need to use him.
Yeah, we do. Actually, we do need to use the knife sharpener guy.
All right. So my chef daughter has to put in her 2 cents every time.
It makes noise.
Yeah, she makes noise, I know.
Well, she's over there making noise. Like, slam the cupboards. And she yells. And when she bends over, she sounds like a little old lady.
No.
No.
I definitely got the non-gringo price on those flowers yesterday. Yes, I did. We have been buying flowers from Miguel for years.
And like I said, we do have...
Jolene, good morning.
I think for us, we cover a good portion of his rent just with our office flowers.
Well,
I'm sure.
I think maybe
I guess I guarantee you 20%.
Okay.
20%.
Okay.
Okay, so what else? Anything else?
Nope. I'm done.
So what else can we just really rant about Mexico? Like topes.
Rave, you mean? Oh,
topes.
We don't need to rant anymore.
No, we need to get all of this out of our brain so we can do a video.
Kenzie. She's got a list.
Yeah. Our kids, they moved back to Canada and
now they think they're all special.
I am special.
What?
No tocar, niño.
I'm just touching your butt. Squeeze the cheeks.
It doesn't work for me. How do you do it?
You can't do that, Christy, from there. No, to shut it off, you just go in the middle, there.
Well, that's stupid.
All the time. All the time. She's got one. She has an
Mine's
iPad
different.
that does exactly the same thing.
No, I push this. Doo-doot. So much easier.
No, it's not. I just go like this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No,
I
there's
see.
nothing running. That's why it doesn't do anything. Help me.
Gosh darn
Help
it.
me, please.
You want to rave? You want to rant? You want to rant?
Yeah.
Husbands.
34 years of awesomeness. Oh, and congratulations to Terry and Kent, 53 years.
Gosh, yes. Yes.
It was great, and they were holding hands, and but even Christy and I seem like we love each other once in a while.
Maybe.
Maybe. So we will let you go here. We
Yes.
are going to head out into the big, wide world of Mexico, and maybe we'll take a few pictures and share them. I do want to share.
You say that all the time, and then you don't.
But the thing is, Christy, is these pictures are all hidden. In the drone I sent it up, I watched the boats coming in. So there you go. We will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Bye, guys.
Adios.